Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a closer look at an area on my vanity. I used to have a lot of candle holders from Bath & Body Works, you know, those big round ones, take up a lot of space in my vanity, and I've cleared those out and gotten a huge acrylic container, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you how I've sort of sorted my everyday basics into one particular compartment in that acrylic container. That whole acrylic container has really cleared out a lot of clutter that was on the top of my vanity, but I thought it'd be interesting to show you my everyday basics because they're in one drawer and I pull that out every single time that I'm doing my makeup. So let's dive right in. So today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of my vanity, in particular one actual section of it, which is over in the acrylic container over there. But I wanted to zoom you out just so you had a full shot of what my vanity actually looks like before we dig into the drawer in the acrylic container that contains all of the products that I use on a daily basis. I'm going to be pulling a drawer out of this acrylic container to talk about the products inside, but I thought a few people would be interested in the actual container itself. I got it on Amazon. It was a birthday present for my husband, but I chose the kind of setup for it. So this one has 3 big drawers at the bottom and then 4 smaller drawers at the top. There's a whole bunch of varieties available on Amazon and they're not that expensive on there, which is really nice. I think this one was either 35 or 40 bucks. And the ones I tend to see in store are a lot more expensive than that. So check out Amazon if you're looking for good makeup storage containers. So my everyday items live in this drawer here, and I always pull it out and put it on the actual desk because I know I'm going to be using pretty much all of the products in here every time I go to do my makeup. So I really like having a daily drawer because I find it's easier to just grab everything in one go. I used to have everything sort of living in one of these Bath & Body Works cups, but I found that the more you have of these things, it just really gets in the way on your vanity. And at one point I think I had like 10 of these cups all sort of stacked around here and it was just really ridiculous for me. So I ended up getting this acrylic container to solve a lot of those problems, and now I only have, I think, 2 of these on the table, which, you know, frees up a lot more extra space. Also, if this counter looks dirty, I mean, I've cleaned this off I don't know how many times, but some of these are just like etched in stone on the desk. Okay, let's take a look as to what is actually in this container. So the first item on top is the Lancome, geez, are they called the Juicy Shakers? They're pretty much a lip oil, and this one is called Mint to Be. It's one of those things where you shake it up and then you apply it to your lips with the little, I mean, what is that? That's kind of a doe foot, but it's triangular. Anyway, I like using this just to keep my lips hydrated in the morning. I've had this for quite a while and I really just wanted to use it up, and I'm about halfway done, which is really nice. So honestly, just having it in this container has made me use it so much more. Next up is a MAC eyeshadow quad. I've had this for some time, I mean the quad itself, but I just keep putting shadows in here as I finish them up. So the shades in here are ones that I use pretty much every single day. I mean, especially this one here. This is Blanc Type, which I've been using for a year and a half straight now, every single time I do my makeup. And it's only just starting to be finished. You can see there's just a little bit of a crescent left. Can't wait for this one to be done, honestly, just because I've been using it so long. This one here is Shag. It is a very old shade. It's probably, I want to say 20 years old at this point. It's a nice crease color, but it is a little bit deep, so I don't always reach for this one. This one up here is Rice Paper, and I only recently put that one in. I have gone through a whole pan of this several years ago at this point, but it is a really nice shade, and I think I want to use that as a brow bone highlight shade once I finish a Blanc Type. And then this one here I think is Naked Lunch. Huge dent in that one. I used to use it a lot, maybe about 10 years ago, but I haven't reached for it as much lately. But these shades all together really help to round out an eye look, so I put them together in here because it's something that I'm always reaching for. I have 2 eyeshadow primers in here. I've mentioned before that I use 2 eyeshadow primers pretty regularly just because my eyes require it. And I'm using right now the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying, is that what it's called? Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer, and the Milani eyeshadow primer as well. I really like this one because it's inexpensive. I know the Fenty one is a little bit more pricey, but I use them together because they're quite nice and I feel like they actually work really well together. I do also keep a glitter primer in here. I feel like glitter glue is essential for me because I'm often wearing a lot of glitter throughout the week. Yes, I do wear glitter to work sometimes, and the Too Faced glitter glue is my favorite out of all the glitter glues that I've tried. I've tried the Lit one, I've tried the NYX one, but this one is always my favorite, so I love having it on hand in that drawer. That being said, I do actually have some of the Lit Cosmetics glitter adhesive in here because I find this one is better for doing glitter liner. The Too Faced one is a little bit thicker, so it's great for covering your entire lid, but if you want to do something a little bit more precise, I do like the Lit glitter for that reason. This one is just a little baby sample size that you can purchase from Lit. They do make a much larger bottle, but I found that that was completely overkill because I just wasn't going through that much glitter adhesive. So I do buy the mini ones now when I need to restock. For eyebrows, I have 2 pencils here that I absolutely love, and I go back to these every single day. I've gone through so many of the NYX Micro Brow in Taupe. It could be 20 of these since this came out. This is such a good product, but I use this to fill in the top of my brow just because I feel like the color match is the best. But it's a little bit of a stiff pencil, so it doesn't do very well at filling in the bottom line of my brow just because it kind of tugs at the skin a little bit. So for the bottom line of my brow, I use the IT Cosmetics Brow Power, and the shade that this comes in is Universal Taupe. I don't know how the shade Universal Taupe seems to work for everybody, but it does. I have blonde hair and this works for me, and I've seen this work on like my friend Sam, who's got quite dark brown hair, and it works just fine on her brows as well. So this is a much softer formula that I use to fill in the bottom line of my brow, and then obviously I go back in with the micro brow and fill in the rest of the brow hairs that way. So while I prefer using brow pencils on the daily, sometimes I want something a little bit stronger on my brows, in which case I'll reach for a brow pomade. So this one is by Inglot, and it's their brow liner gel. This is in the shade J501 Taupe, and this was from their Inglot and JLo collection. Now they do make a taupe shade in their regular lineup, so you don't have to necessarily buy the JLo collection. I'm convinced that the 2 shades are actually identical. They just repurposed it under the JLo branding to maybe sell a little bit more. That doesn't really bother me though, because this product is excellent. Now this shade is a little bit darker than I would normally gravitate towards. It is a bit more of a gray cast, which I like, but the color that comes off on this is a lot stronger than a brow pencil generally will give me. So I reach for this when I want something a little bit more impactful, which is usually on camera, or if I'm going to something like a special event. This will also stay on my brows a little bit longer, so I'll wear this in like inclement weather when I know there's like snow or rain and I want my brows not to go anywhere. I also have 2 mascaras in here. I don't tend to keep a lot of mascara on hand. I really hate having multiple tubes of mascara open because I feel like it's so wasteful. Even when I use a mascara every single day, at the end of 3 months, the product is not done, and yet we're expected to throw it out. So I've only really ever got 2 going at once, and even then I'm annoyed. I'd rather just have 1 going at a time. So the first one here is a sample size of the MAC in Extreme Dimension 3D Black Lash. I got this during my last MAC order on their website, and I actually really enjoy it, which was a huge surprise because I feel like people have like shat on MAC mascaras for so long. I've tried a few of them in the past and I never really liked them, but this one is quite good. What I like about this one is that it has a plastic bristle brush, and they're quite spiky actually, which is really nice because I feel like it grips the lash and then pulls the mascara through it. So while I really like this one, I'm not even sure I would go buy a full size of it because I've kind of gone off of buying full size high-end mascara just because the drugstore makes such good products in that respect. And on that note, for drugstore mascara, I've been using the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, which was sent to me by Influencer. By the way, anybody can sign up for Influencer. I'll leave a link down below. It's a referral link, but I think it gives me points, and it gives you probably some points as well. So they sent me this as part of like their CoverGirl Exhibitionist promotion. So I've been really enjoying this, which was a huge surprise for me because it has one of those hourglass wands, and I don't generally like these because I feel like it's really difficult to get my lashes with this wand, especially the inner corner with such a bulbous tip to it. But actually, I found that it works really well, so I've been really happy about that. I feel like it's lengthening, it's volumizing, the color is perfect. I mean, it's a very dark black, and it's quite a wet mascara too, which is what I really enjoy. So I've really been enjoying the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. I don't know if it's in my top favorite mascaras. I would probably go back to their Clump Crusher before I went back to this one, but I have been enjoying this tube. In that same Influencer campaign, they also sent along this liquid liner by CoverGirl. So this is the Gettin line liquid liner, and I have the matte black formula. I was initially very skeptical about this product because I don't tend to love dip pot eyeliners. I much prefer a pen. However, I found that this product turned out to be really, really good. While I don't love the mechanism of dipping it in and applying it to my eye because I feel like I get a lot of the gunk, now it's on my finger. I get a lot of that gunk on my lashes, which is really annoying. However, this product is glorious. It's so black, it's so matte, which I haven't had a matte liner in a really long time, just because I've been gravitating towards all of the pen liners and none of them are actually matte. So it's been really nice using a truly matte liner again, and I would actually buy this again, which is surprising for me because I never thought I would buy a dip pot liner again in my life. And in speaking of liquid liners, this one is truly my favorite and holy grail. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster in Ultra Black. It is a pen style brush tip applicator and it just goes on so smoothly. It is the easiest one I own to use on my eye, and I do feel like I have to go over the line twice, but that doesn't really bother me because the application method is perfect. It is truly flawless. I've tried some high-end products that are in the same style as this, and I do not feel like they are nearly as good as this one. So this one is holy grail for me, and I love it dearly. Next up, there's another brow product in here that I wasn't really aware that I had. This is the Pop Beauty Peak Performance Brow, and the shade is Taupe Blonde. I've got this in here because I think I'm trying to use it up. It's not my favorite from what I recall. Yeah, because the tip on this is triangular, and it's actually a little bit difficult to apply my brows like this. I don't know how people use these triangular ones so well. It just doesn't work that well for me. But it's in here because the color match is okay, so I just kind of want to get some use out of it. I'll probably match it with the It Cosmetics one though, just because I like the performance of that one better, and this one can probably just fill in the extra hairs. I also keep a black pencil liner in my collection at all times, generally for filling in my lower waterline, which is not something that I do very often, but I like having a black pencil on hand just in case I need it. So this is the Tarte Cosmetics SexKitten pencil liner, and it's fine. Honestly, it's quite black, which is very nice. I mean, I never really want a charcoal black liner when I want a true jet black. So this one is fine. It's not the worst I've tried. It's not the best I've tried either, but I use black liner on my lower waterline so infrequently that it doesn't really matter to me too much what brand I'm using. So until I use this one up, this one is perfectly fine for me. I have a lash glue in here, which is kind of funny because these are like my daily basics, but I only really wear false lashes for like special events, going out at night, and for videos. I never wear lashes to the office. So this one is the SocialEyes lash glue, although it's funny, they don't have their branding on here at all. I have recently switched over to this from the House of Lashes one because I feel like House of Lashes was irritating my eyes, and this one doesn't seem to be doing that. This one is much like the House of Lashes lash glue in the sense that it's a small tube with a brush tip applicator, which I so appreciate. I used to use Duo for years when they only had the squeeze tube, and that was just annoying. So I really like the brush tip on this, and it doesn't aggravate my eyes, which is essential. I also have a lip primer in here. This is the MAC Prep and Prime for lips. This one is the best lip primer that I have ever used. I've used a whole bunch of brands, but nothing compares to this one. And I use lip primer because I deal with a lot of bleed out from my lip line that looks really unsightly. I cannot stand that look when you put on a lipstick. It's perfect, and then 30 minutes later you've got little lines seeping up from your lips. It drives me nuts. So this prevents that from happening, and it was totally life-changing for me because I tried to powder around the edge of my lips, I tried concealer, I tried pencil, nothing worked. This is a total savior. So the product that comes out is like a lip balm basically. It's white, and it does actually give a little bit of a white cast on the lips, which is not great, but you do cover it up with lipstick, so it's not too bad. But the way that you use this is that you apply it like lip balm, cover your entire lip, wait about a minute or two for it to go tacky, and then apply your lipstick, and it will lock it in place for hours on end. I will always have this in my collection because it is so vital to me. All right, we're getting to the bottom here. I've got a single eyeshadow here from Wet n Wild. This is pretty much the same as MAC's Blanc Type eyeshadow, which is to say that it's a matte brow bone highlight shade for me that's basically bone colored. I use a bone colored shade every single day on my brow bone just to blend out that area because my crease usually travels pretty high up my eye and I just need something to blend it out to my brow bone. So I'm almost done the Blanc Type eyeshadow, and then I'll start using this full time because they're basically the same product. However, the MAC one is now discontinued, so I'll only be picking this one up going forward. Oh, and this one is like 99 cents. How amazing is that? And lastly in here, we just have a tool that I don't really use that often. This is from SocialEyes. It's one of their lash applicators, but I don't really use it as a lash applicator because I find tweezers works much better for that. I use this to clamp my lashes to my fake lashes. So after I've applied my fake lashes, I let it dry a little bit and then I go in there and squeeze the two together with this, and it really kind of just melds the two together, which is great because you never want your fake lashes to look like they're different from your real lashes. So I keep it in there because I didn't really want to keep it out with anything else, and yeah, I mean, it's handy, but it's not a daily use product for me. And there we go. That was everything in my little drawer that I use every single day. It's handy to have everything condensed in one area so I can just pull it out and use it every single day. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.